compares to a cool breeze blowing out of an energy-efficient air conditioning unit or the toasty warmth of a nice heater, but to provide these benefits, these machines sometimes need maintenance, or they might even need to be replaced. That's when Chiltex at Anna is ready to step into action. Chiltex offers commercial and industrial sales, service, and maintenance, and they pride themselves in possessing the most extensive HVAC knowledge in this area. Word-of-mouth recommendations and referrals are the backbone of their business. Call Chiltex. For Sale Savings and Loan is a locally owned financial institution. The Savings and Loan has been serving Darke and Shelby counties since 1887.
Since 2006, family-owned Silver Cross Catholic Books and Gifts has been making Catholic books and religious articles available to our community. Let us help. If you are looking for a gift for a first communion, confirmation, or
Good evening. Welcome all parents, families, friends, and fans to this year's Senior Parents Night. This night is held for all senior athletes involved in golf, cross country, and volleyball. First, we would like to recognize the senior volleyball players for the Houston Wildcats. Mariah Boer, Haley Huffman, and Captain Moeller. Congratulations and best of luck to you. Now for your Rushi senior athletes. Jonathan Bell is the son of Russ Bell and Beth Bell. Jonathan is captain of the boys cross country team and will be attending a four-year college next fall. Nicholas Caldwell is the son of Brian and Robin Caldwell. Nicholas is a member of the boys cross country team and will be attending a four-year university next year. Jacob Goubeau is the son of Dale and Brenda Goubeau. Jacob is a member of the boys cross country team. He is also a member of the National Honor Society, Academia team, marching and pep bands, St. Remy leadership team, Buckeyes boys delegate, and a Shelby County United Way representative. Jacob plans to attend a four-year university, majoring in business administration and political science. And ladies, he is also single. Lauren Monier is the daughter of Chad and Karen Monier. Lauren is a member of the volleyball team. Lauren will be attending Sinclair Community College next fall. Kendall Monin is the daughter of Jeremy and Missy Monin. Kendall is a member of the volleyball team. She is also a member of Academia, Rushi League Group, Student Council, and St. Remy leadership team. Kendall plans to attend Wright State University next fall, majoring in nursing. Ashley Scott is the daughter of Jason and Cheryl Scott. Ashley is a member of the volleyball team and plans on obtaining a degree in sonography. Becca Sager is the daughter of Randy and Shelley Sager. Becca is a member of the girls cross country team and will be attending Wright State University next fall. Drew Sherman is the son of Andy and Jesse Sherman. Drew is a member of the boys golf team. Drew plans to go to school to become a firefighter and paramedic next fall. We would like to thank all of these Rushi athletes for their dedication and time that has been given to Rushi School and their community. We thank the parents for their continued support. And on behalf of Rushi School, we wish our seniors the best of luck the rest of their senior year and in their future endeavors. Thank you.
Test, test, 1, 2. Test, 1, 2.
Test, test, test.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fish Report's broadcast of high school volleyball on this Thursday, September 24th. I'm Craig Fissinger, and joining me shortly will be my broadcast partner, Brandon Coverman. We're here at Ruchy's Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium on senior night for tonight's Shelby County Athletic League matchup between the visiting Houston Wildcats and the hometown Rushy Raiders. We hope you enjoy tonight's broadcast because it is being brought to you by these fine sponsors: Busher's Market, Chiltex Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical Services, Geyer's Dodge Chrysler Jeep, Versailles Savings and Loan, Jeremy Cadonier Insurance, Jewelry Barn, Silver Cross Catholic Books and Gifts, Cruisers Bar and Grill, Knights of Columbus St. Remy Council, Nathan Marshall at Ameriprise Financial, Mike Stevie at Edward Jones, Drew Cloud at Allstate Insurance, Siegel's Country Store, and Made in the Shade Tents and Tables. In this varsity contest tonight, first for the home team from Rushy, they are led by head coach Aaron Watkins, now in his 5th year running this Lady Raiders program. This season so far, Rushy has an overall record of 5-3. Non-league, they are 2-2 with wins over Covington and Versailles and losses to New Bremen and Graham. In the SCAL, Rushy is 3-1 right now, beating Anna once, Botkins once, and already splitting the regular season matchup with 1 win and 1 loss to Fort Laramie. The reason for that odd situation with Fort Laramie in that series was due to this Rushy program being shut down for 2 weeks at the beginning of September after a COVID-19 scare in the community, I guess you'll say. But since that 2-week break, Rushy is playing catch-up with lots of games to make up since the shutdown. Most recently, Rushy did travel to Fort Laramie this past Tuesday for that final game of the regular season series, and it was a rough night for the Lady Raiders as they dropped 3 straight sets, 25-18, 25-18, 25-13. However, Fort Laramie is state ranked number 5 in the current Division IV poll, while Rushy is ranked number 8. So if you believe in the polls, perhaps that outcome wasn't a complete surprise, and it will certainly be interesting if those two teams would happen to meet up for a third time in the postseason, perhaps in the regional tournament like they did last year. One bright spot for Rushy in that game on Tuesday was senior starter and libero Kendall Monin getting a milestone 1,000th dig of her career. Kendall was one of the 3 seniors that was honored here a little earlier tonight on senior night in the Claire C. Naveau. The other 2 seniors being starting middle hitter Ashley Scott and defensive specialist Lauren Monier, who typically comes off the bench for Coach Watkins, but we'll see how Lauren fits into the lineup on this special night this evening. And speaking of senior records, Ashley Scott recently became Rushy's all-time kills leader at the end of August in a game that against Versailles. She surpassed the old record of 858 kills, formerly held by Rushy great Kylie Wilson. I'm going to bring in my broadcast partner now, Brandon Coverman. And Brandon, you got a chance to see that Fort Laramie game on Tuesday night. Got a chance to call it for NK Telco. But this Rushy team, not only does it have some good seniors, it's also got a lot of good underclassmen as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is one of the most experienced underclass teams about Coach Watkins could ask for. This is a team that made the regional finals for only, I think, the first or second time in school history last year, made the regional final. And this is a team that's very experienced. They've won a lot of games this underclassman has, whether it's been at the junior high level or the high school level as well. So not much more that Coach Watkins can ask for. And this is a senior class that even Rushy's volleyball page put on Twitter has been pretty much the most successful class in high school volleyball history, with making 3 regional appearances, winning a county championship 2 years ago for the first time in 15 years, and on pace to potentially win another one this year if they can about go perfect throughout the rest of the league schedule. So, yeah, but it's led by its seniors, but the underclassmen play a big role as well. Usually there's been at times 4 sophomore starters for Coach Watkins. You run a 5-1 offense that Rushy does. It features a lone sophomore setter, Maya Monin, who no doubt is on pace to break the Rushy all-time assist record at some time, probably maybe even next year. So this Rushy team is senior-laden, but its underclassmen really define the team.
Yeah, Maya Monin spoke of that Versailles game and Ashley Scott getting that kills record. Actually, in that same game, Maya eclipsed the 1,000 assist mark already as a sophomore, and she did start at last year as a freshman. So she's on track, like you said, to put some big marks in those record books. And you mentioned the senior class being so talented and most successful in history. They came into tonight with an overall record of 61-29, including 32-8 in the league. As you mentioned, those 3 regional appearances, the regional runner-up, and then that league title back in 2018. Tonight, they do take on these Houston Wildcats, and they are now being led by head coach Lauren Vagadis, who took over mid-season for former coach Misty Gibson, who was in her 5th year with the program. Houston has a record of 2-10 coming into this match tonight, Kobe, and including 0-6 in the SCAL. Those 2 wins for the Wildcats include Ansonia back on game number 2 of the season, and also Indian Lake on game number 6, all the way back on August 31st. And while the Wildcats haven't been winning many games, they've been playing a lot of sets. Most recently, Houston played a grinder at Covington last Saturday. They fell in 4 sets, 15-25, 25-20, 20-25, and finally 29-31. And of the 12 opponents Houston's played so far, no surprise you, Kobe, but 7 of those contests went to 4 or 5 sets, and they're playing against teams like number 4 New Knoxville, state-ranked New Knoxville, number 5 Fort Laramie twice, number 13 Jackson Center. Now they get number 8 Russia tonight, and then they get them again on Monday. So fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, when you play volleyball in this part of Ohio, you run into a lot of Ohio's best teams, no matter which direction you go.
Yeah, and that's what makes this area so great, and that's why you look at the state championship banners in volleyball, or who's been making it far. It's been this area has really defined Division IV volleyball over the last about 15 years. So Houston's inevitably going to run in those teams. You know, your top-tier teams from the Shelby County over the past few years, Jackson Center, Fort Laramie, Russia, Anna. Then you go over, you play the MAC, you play teams like such as New Knoxville or Minster or New Bremen, for example, who's been dominating this area for volleyball for quite some time now.
Well, for any of our Russia listeners out there that aren't familiar with the Houston Wildcats, if you're looking for a star to watch tonight, you'll find one in 2-year starter and junior libero Megan Meyer. Last year, she set the Wildcats single-season record for digs with 391. Megan actually already has 257 digs in 12 games this season coming into tonight. That's an average of over 21 per contest. So look for her to likely break her own record again this season. Also key in this Houston lineup, there's a 3-year starter and senior middle hitter in Mariah Boer. You've got junior Bree Kemp, who turned into a setter this year after being a defensive specialist last year. Also watch for a 3-year letter winner and senior outside hitter Catlin Moeller, who leads this team in kills, including a team high 16 that she had in that loss to Covington on Saturday. And other keys to this lineup for Coach Vagadis are senior right side hitter Haley Huffman, junior outside hitter Riley Voizard, and 6-foot junior middle hitter Grace Slade, who seems to get a lot of blocks for these Wildcats at that height. So, Kobe, you know, we talked a little bit about Russia and their underclassmen, that sophomore class. I do believe they have one junior in the lineup that they go to a lot. But, you know, we're talking about names in that sophomore class like Cece Borchers and Kate Sherman, Simone Putoff, Maya Mon, and you already mentioned Jillian Chapman, and just, again, a lot of young talent. And Houston comes in tonight. They have 3 seniors, but they're also got a lot. We just mentioned Megan Meyer there, the junior libero. So Houston perhaps, you know, having to deal with that tough schedule, but they're a team that when they get outside of the SCAL, they can do okay.
Yeah, and for sure. And for tonight, you know, playing Houston, you know, looking at a 2-10 record compared to a 5-3, the Raiders should come in be playing mad from how they played on Tuesday. Frankly, you know, I was at that game, Craig. Frankly, the Raiders didn't give their best effort, I don't think, Tuesday. They kind of struggled there a little bit, and maybe it's a little bit of lingering effect from the 2-week break, but you got to about throw that excuse out the door anymore if you're Coach Watkins' squad. You got to come out firing on all cylinders, and that's what I expect the Raiders to do tonight. They should be playing mad. This, frankly, wasn't their best performance against Laramie. They looked out of sync all 3 sets. There was a brief time in set number 2 where they did lead the Redskins by a score of 6-1, and after that, Fort Laramie took control and won that set 25-18. So I believe the Raiders are one of the best teams in the area, and they should need to play like it tonight. And I believe they got that potential. And I think that game Tuesday under Fort Laramie will light a fire in the Raiders team. And we'll see what Coach Watkins' squad is made of these next few games.
Interested to see what kind of statement the Raiders make here tonight in this matchup. Well, as we mentioned, it is senior night here tonight. I do want to mention the seniors that took the floor for Russia in volleyball. Of course, we mentioned Lauren Miner, the daughter of Chad and Karen Miner, as well as Kendall Monin, the daughter of Jeremy and Missy Monin, and Ashley Scott, the daughter of Jason and Cheryl Scott. The cross-country team came out here as well. There were 3 boys that were seniors on the Russia cross-country team. That is Jonathan Bell, the son of Russ Bell and Beth Bell, Nicholas Caldwell, the son of Brian and Robin Caldwell, and Jake Gubo, the son of Dale and Brenda Gubo. And then on the girls' side, just one senior, and it seems like she's been around forever, and that's Becca Sager, who is the daughter of Randy and Shelly Sager. Cross-country team doing very well this season. As a matter of fact, last Saturday they took first place in both the boys and girls races over at the Salina Invitational. They've got a number of those over there this season, and again, Russia won both of those races. And then just one senior on the golf team, the boys golf team that is, and that is Drew Sherman, who is the son of Andy and Jesse Sherman. He is the lone senior in the entire golf program here at Russia, a district qualifier last year nonetheless, and he's going to try to do that again, qualify for the districts next Tuesday when they play their sectional meet over at Shelby Oaks there in City. And Kobe, I know you were on the golf team a few years ago, and you know how fun that is for especially a senior.
Yeah, and golf is one of the most fun, relaxing high school sports to play. You don't hear it a lot in the headlines, but I got to give compliments to the Shelby County League this year and how low the golf scores have been. Just giving compliments to all 7 Shelby County League schools. This is the most complete and competitive and best golf that I've seen in my 10 years or so of following Shelby County golf, and it's not even close. You're seeing schools that, such as Houston setting school records, Fairlawn shooting a 327. You haven't really ever saw that in golf, and anyone who's followed Shelby County golf for how many numbers of years has not seen as low as numbers as they are now. You're seeing schools like programs like Bakken's on fire. Army's been on fire for the past few years as well, but not to the level that they've been lately. They're kind of recovering from that little football linger that they had for a while when they got football, and they kind of lost maybe a little interest in cross and golf there for a while. And then you talk about Russia, you talk about the hometown Raiders. They've got a young core led by senior Drew Sherman. Sophomore Ross Visinger was a district qualifier last year. Definitely could do that again, could repeat that. And any one of those 7 teams, there's 4 slots that go for the district round, and I think it could be 4 Shelby County teams. Don't be surprised when I see the results if it's 4 Shelby County teams going, and it could be any of the 7 Shelby County teams. I think Laramie will probably get there. I think Laramie and Bakken's are the most likely to advance, no matter what. They've had the lowest scores, but it's one day, and we've seen Fairlawn shooting the 360s, and then one day, and they win the Shelby County League invite with a 327 and only finished 7-5 in the league. So that tells you how crazy golf can be. So any one of those 7 teams can move on, but look for Fort Laramie and Bakken's to be the 2 that most likely advance.
Hey, you're getting me excited talking about golf, Kobe. You know, I'm a golf fan all of a sudden, and yeah, it's very competitive. And you mentioned Fort Laramie. They graduate the guy that won the Shelby County tournament and Zach Plyman, and they come back stronger this season. So yeah, they've been very good, very consistent, and that's real key in golf. You go through your ups and downs. Laramie's managed to stay very consistent, and it's going to be fun to watch on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there driving my golf cart around, taking pictures, of course. And but back to volleyball, and we're getting set to get started here as the final 10 seconds tick off the clock. We're going to let the PA announcer, Mr. Mike Hart, take over here and announce the players. You can listen to that as well as pause for our national anthem. So, Kobe, we'll turn it over to Mr. Hart.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Clarendon Gymnasium for today's varsity volleyball contest between our visitors, the Houston Wildcats, and your Russia Raiders. Houston High School and Russia High School are members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by the rules and regulations as set forth by the association to maintain high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with its member schools. Quick announcement, there are a lot of flashes going off during senior night, and it would be appreciated if you could turn the flashes off before we take pictures during the game. The officials for today's contest are Randy Tester and John Bell. Welcome to Russia High School, gentlemen. Will you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see
proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched, were to gallantly stream. And around its red band, the first streaming air, they moved through the night, and our flag was still there. Sailors and star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of free and the
Before the lineup tonight, we would like to take a moment to recognize one of our senior athletes. Kendall Manon, our libero, recently recorded her 1,000th career dig playing for Russia Local School. And now for tonight's lineups. First, for our visitors from Houston. Number 4, Katie Meyer. Number 6, Aaliyah Stengel. Number 11, Kayla Winter. Number 16, Emma Kemp. The starters for Houston. Number 2, junior Brianna Kemp. Number 3, junior Riley Boizard. Number 5, senior Mariah Boer. Number 7, senior Haley Huffman. Number 25, junior Grace Slade. Number 34, senior Caitlin Moeller. And the libero is number 28, junior Megan Meyer. Houston is coached by Laura Vegas and Gina Meyer. And now for your Rooster Raiders. Number 0, Lindsay Bastano. Number 1, Jillian Chapman. Number 3, Cece Borchard. Number 7, Kelly Gosak. Number 11, Simone Putoff. Number 13, Ronnie Poland. The starters for Rushi. Number 4, sophomore Kate Sherman. Number 5, sophomore Maya Monin. Number 9, junior Bailey Coleman. Number 12, freshman Carly Scott. And starting their senior night games, number 6, senior Lauren Monier. Number 10, senior Ashley Scott. And number 2, senior libero Kendall Manon. Rushi is coached by Aaron Watkins, assisted by Olivia Cummins, David Strong, and Sierra Wire.
And there are introductions by Mike Hart, both teams, the Wildcats and the Raiders, as we get set to get things started here on senior night in Rushi. And Kobe, I saw the Raiders made a little bit of adjustment in their, not their starting lineup, let's say, but their rotation against Laramie. Kate Sherman started out serving in that game. Or actually, I'm sorry, they started her out in the corner where she usually starts out serving, and just a little bit different spot in the lineup here.
Yeah, and when Coach Watkins was talking to me before the Fort Laramie game, he gave me 2 different lineups. Gave me a lineup before the game, and he changed it. He went around, and then he went back to that original lineup to start game 2, and it looked like it was going to work for the Raiders, but then the Redskins just turned it on. I tell you what, Fort Laramie, just to mention about them a little bit, was just on fire. They have some they lost Ava Schultes to an ACL tear, they've been able to replace her. And it's hard replacing a player like Ava Schultes, but they've had so many different players step up. They got 10 seniors. Hannah Rotterman stepped up in that game. Freshman Summer Hoying stepped up in that game. But enough talking about Fort Laramie. It's Russia Houston, and we're underway as Moeller gets the serve over, goes outside, and Ashley Scott, just like she has her whole varsity career, gets a kill.
Yeah, Ashley, we'll see that a lot from her, I'm guessing, tonight. She's, again, the kills leader at Russia. And nice to see Lauren Monyer in the starting line tonight. Not something she typically gets to do, but, again, being senior night, see her in the back row right now in the middle. And hopefully she can do some good things in her time in there.
Sherman lets it fly, picked up by Meyer, picked up by Kemp. Hits the light, Raider point.
Kemp goes by, we'll call her Bree tonight. I think that's what she likes to go by, actually, Brianna Covey. But, yeah, she's a big part of this Houston lineup.
Slade handles it in back row over to Meyer. They'll get it over to Voizard. It'll be a free ball for the Raiders. Lauren Monyer picks it up. Set outside by Monin to Carly Scott. Dug out by Grace Slade. Set by Kemp. Over to Riley Voizard. Meets a pair of Raider hands. Point for Russia. 3-0 Russia here early. All in control as Sherman back into service. The Raiders will be back in action on Saturday against the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers. You can purchase that game on nktelcosports.com as well if you would like to follow the action. And Houston finally on the board. There's a kill, I believe, to senior Mariah Boer.
And Boer back to serve now, Covey. Boer has a little relation over here in Russia. I believe her mom works at the school.
Her mom was my teacher, yes. Raiders mishandled the serve. They're just going to free ball it over. Bree Kemp sets in the middle to Grace Slade. A little dink picked up by the Raiders. Kendall Monning gets it right back over. Houston, hard time picking it up. Megan Meyer will just volley it over. Lauren Monner over to Maya Monnin. Over to Ashley Scott. Blocked by Slade, but they're going to call him in the net on Grace Slade.
That Slade just made a little bit of contact there. She does get a lot of blocks, as we mentioned in the pregame, at 6 foot. I'm sure Coach Vagatus likes her on that front row. But, yeah, you got to be careful not to touch the net, that's for sure.
You see the net move a little bit there. Now sophomore Simone Putoff checks in the game and into service. Bree Kemp sets outside to Riley Voizard. Dug out by Kendall Monnin. They'll go in the middle to Ashley Scott. Scott blocked at the net, and the aforementioned Grace Slade sent that ball into oblivion.
Yeah, right there in the middle. Got to be careful with her in that position. And Scott tried to drive it past her, and good job with the block.
Riley Voizard back into service. Picked up. Simone Putoff outside to Carly Scott, and Scott hits the candy cane, and that's 2 points in a row for Houston.
Scott, the younger sister, the freshman sister of Ashley Scott. She's going to be a good one for Coach Watkins here as we watch her, I'm sure, these next several years, but still learning right now.
Raiders just going to have to free ball this one over. Slade picks it up. Kemp outside. That ball's tipped over, picked up Lauren Monyer. Maya Monin sets it outside to Carly Scott, and again, Houston blocks it. And they're going to call, I believe, a double hit on the Raiders. And that Houston frontline defense been the difference. 3 points in a row. We're knotted up at 4 here in the first set.
You get Slade and Huffman up there both doing a nice job.
Maya Monin sets it to Ashley Scott. She gets the dink.
So Scott, after a couple attacks, decides to dink one and gets the point that way. Whatever works, Covey.
Cece Borchers checks her way into the lineup. First time in tonight for Borchers, the sophomore. Scott serves. Boer handles it. They'll set it outside, and that'll be a kill for number 7, Haley Huffman, and we're knotted back up at 5.
Well, we talked about how Russia was going to come out here, and Houston playing awful tough. Like they want to prove a point as well.
Libero Megan Meyer back into service. Meyer lets it fly, picked up by Simone Putoff. Raiders will set it outside to CC Borchers through the blockers, picked up by Houston. They'll free ball it over, and that'll be long. Ashley Scott watches it fly by, and the Raiders retake the lead.
Good court sense there from Ashley.
6-5 here. First set. And senior Kendall Monron will go back on her senior night. Just recently achieved 1,000 digs, only the second player in Raider history to do that, joining former teammate and 2018 Russia graduate Whitney Plyman as Kendall gets the ace. Kendall's about 600 digs behind the school record.
Yeah, I think Whitney finished with 1,601 to be exact, and yeah, that mark is going to be awfully tough to catch.
Mana hits a sky-high ball. It'll go over to Grace Slade. She'll play the dink. It's dug out by Simone. Put off. Raiders go in the middle. A tip by Borchers. It's picked up by the Wildcats. Muller will go outside from the 10-foot line. It's picked up. Kendall Monin. Maya Monin to Kate Sherman. Dug out by Boer. They'll go outside. Muller again trying to answer the bell. Dug out by Scott to put off, but it goes into the Raiders stands. 7-6 our score now. Raiders lead.
Coach Watkins talking to his sophomore hitter there, and Kate Sherman. And Kate's one that can be awfully dangerous too. She when she gets on a roll, she can get above that net and just be as effective as Ashley Scott.
Good serve by Grace Slade. Miscommunication by the Raiders back line. They just get it outside the candy cane. That'll be the point for the Wildcats. I mentioned the candy cane, talking about the poles that are on the side next to the down and up judge that line up with the ins and outs of the out of bounds lines. Simone Putoff mishandles the ball. The Raiders just gonna free ball it over, but it'll be just too long, and Houston has their first lead of the match.
Well, nice effort there from Ashley Scott to keep that alive, that volley alive, but Rushi couldn't capitalize.
Grace Slade back into service. And Houston playing very well so far, hanging with these Raiders. The 2-win Wildcats lead the Raiders 8-7 first set, and they will add on to that lead with an ace. Coach Aaron Watkins signaling to the down judge that he wants a timeout. We'll take a brief one as well. You're watching high school girls volleyball here on Fish Reports YouTube channel.
Attention Rushi Raider fans, shop local and save at Busher's Market in Rushi. Busher's Market has great prices on fruits, vegetables, frozen items, seafood, and more. Make sure you check out their meat department with deli item specials. Busher's also has fresh store-made soups that make a great quick meal. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Busher's Market in Rushi, shop local and save. Busher's Market, a fine sponsor for all kinds of things here in Rushi Covey. They take care of about every organization that they can, whether it's through their hard work or sponsorships or whatever. They're a sponsor of Fish Report, and Tim and Larry, two good guys, have been part of this community for a long time.
Yeah, they do a great job too, and they're joined the NK Telco band of sponsors as well. And I know they are going to be shut down for renovation October 5th through the 7th. I do believe I read that on their Facebook page. Going to get some upgrades to the town store, which should be nice, Craig. So we're back to action, 9-7. Houston leads here in the first set. Houston picks up the ball, gets it just over. Houston will reset their offense. Moeller goes to the outside. It's dug out by the Raiders. Maya Monin tips it over. Moeller hits it just a little long. Ashley Scott watches it fly by for the Raider point.
I'm sure Coach Watkins, coming out of that timeout, wanted to be able to get that first point, and Rushi certainly does. I don't know what he said to them, but he probably just like, hey, girls, let's get things going here.
It was 4-1, but ever since that point, Houston was pretty much virtually in control as Maya Monin hits a nice knuckleball serve. Bree Kemp in the middle to Mariah Boer, rejected at the net by CC Borchers, but it goes back to Houston, and that's Riley Boisard called for the double hit as Houston was trying to resituate their offense. Maya Monin lets it fly again. Another knuckleball serve. Bree Kemp denied at the net by Kate Sherman. It deflects back to the Raiders. Kate Sherman hits it off a blocker. Bree Kemp goes back in the middle. Megan Meyer free balls it over. Maya Monin sets in the middle of CC Borchers. It's dug out by Slade. Battle at the net. Bailey Pullman puts it down, but it looks like a Houston player was in the net. So point anyway for the Raiders.
Yeah, I really like Rushi's front row right there. You know, they've got a good front row, it seems like all the time, but with Kate Sherman and CC Borchers and Bailey Pullman up there, two very tall girls in Pullman and Sherman, that's for sure.
It's dug out Houston. Boer in the middle, dug out by Monin, over to Kendall Monin. Ashley Scott from the 10-foot line. And it's picked up by the Wildcats. Moeller gets the ball deflected. It's dug out by Meyer, dug out by Slade. The third hit just over. The Raiders go bump, set, spike in the middle to CC Borchers. And a nice kill by the sophomore on senior night.
Well, and the shortest of those three girls I just mentioned up front there, she sure put that one down. There's not a chance Houston was going to dig that one.
She's got a very good vertical for how short she is to play the front row. Maya Monin with a nice serve. Kemp outside to Moeller. Finds a pair of blockers in Bailey Pullman and C.C. Borchers, and the Raiders on a 4-0 run. Coach Lauren Vagatus wants a timeout. We'll take a quick read from our sponsors.
Attention Fish Report listeners, are you looking for the right financial advice? Then contact Mike Stevie at the Edward Jones Company, whose motto is making sense of investing. Check out the company's website at www.edwardjones.com or call Mike at his office in Troy at 937-440-9392. That's 937-440-9392 to see how he can help you make sense of investing. And Kobe, these Russia Raiders came out of that timeout and they really picked things up, didn't they?
Yeah, 4 straight points. And that's what I said before the game, Craig. You got to play mad. The Raiders did not play as well as they usually do Tuesday night. And when you come off playing that game against your rival, you got some anger to get out. And Houston is in for a real challenge. And Mariah Boer off the timeout gets the little dink. What a smart play there, Craig.
Yeah, well, Rushi was up in that net with those tall girls, Pullman and Sherman, and Maya Mon's in the front row now, but C.C. Borchers, but nice job with the dink by Boer there.
12-10. Bears go bump set spike, and it's a little long. Bree Kemp dodged what was a laser from Kate Sherman, but luckily for her, it was out of bounds. So 2 straight points from Houston. They creep back within 1. It's 12-11 here in the first set. Here at Claire Vo Gymnasium on the senior night, as Bree Kemp lets it fly, it's dug out by Ashley Scott. It's wide. They tip it back, and I believe they're going to call Katrin Muller in the net, or over her hands over the center line of the net, interfering with Maya Monen's tip. So the Raiders will get a point. They're up 13-11, set number 1, and C.C. Borchers back in service. Goes in the middle to Mariah Boer. It's dug out by Kendall Monin. Kate Sherman hits it over. Slade over to Kemp, over to Moeller, denied at the net, but the Houston Wildcats pick it back up. Riley Boisard tosses it over. It'll be a free ball for the Raiders. The set of Monin wide outside to Pullman. The Wildcats pick it up. It'll be free balled over to the Raiders. Borchers picks it up. Maya Monin set outside to Ashley Scott, and it's dug out by Grace Slade. Megan Meyer free balls it over for the Raiders. Here's a long rally here. And Kate Sherman puts it away, the sophomore, with a nice kill that finds the inline.
Perhaps Rushi's most effective front row right now you're looking at with Kate Sherman, Ashley Scott, and Bailey Pullman. I'm sure some would argue maybe Carly Scott up there is just as effective, but a lot of height there. It's going to be tough to battle those girls.
Riley Voisard gets it. It's picked up by Ashley Scott. Maya Monin will push set it to the back row, but to the Wildcats. Moeller outside. Cross-court shot denied. Houston resituates their offense. They go outside to Riley Boisard. C.C. Borchers defends it. Kicked over to Kendall Monin. Scott tips it over. And a misplay there by Mariah Boer. Puts her on her back, and there's an easy kill for Ashley Scott on the dink.
Smart play by her.
C.C. Borchers. Nice serve. Gets Houston out of their groove on offense. Miscommunication for the Wildcats on the third hit. Point for the Raiders.
Yeah, Houston kind of falling behind here. Rushi now up by 5, 16-11, and the Wildcats going to have to get something together before you get to that magic 20 mark.
C.C. Borchers with the serve. Houston out of groove on offense on a nice soft serve by Borchers. The Raiders get the free ball. They'll set it in the middle to Kate Sherman, and a nice kill there by Kate.
And a nice assist by Maya Monin. I'm so impressed with her. You know, just a sophomore with 1,000 assists already, but she just has so much experience. Certainly doesn't play like a sophomore.
C.C. Borchers back to serve, and there's an ace for C.C. Borchers. The Raiders now firing on all cylinders these past few points. And, you know, to talk about Maya Monin, it's an advantage to have 4 or 5 of your classmates because you've been playing since probably about 5th grade with these same girls, Craig.
Absolutely.
Kemp in the middle of the senior Mariah Boer, dug out by the Raiders senior Kendall Monin over to the other senior Ashley Scott, over to Bailey Pullman. Picked up by the Wildcats. Mueller. It's a shot that's dug out by Kendall Monin. Maya Monin over to Bailey Pullman, and Pullman will get the kill.
Well, there's Monin again directing everything, and she does a nice job filling in. Got all kinds of weapons all around her as Houston, I think, called another timeout there, Kobe.
Yep, Lauren Vagatus called another timeout, and we'll get a sponsor read here.
Senior citizens need help making an easy transition into Medicare and retirement planning? Then contact Jeremy Cadonier at Jeremy Cadonier Insurance in Versailles. Jeremy helps seniors with the step-by-step process with products like Medicare supplements, Part D drug plans, life insurance, and investments in the Versailles area. Call Jeremy at 526-9860. That's area code 937-526-9860. Jeremy Cadonier Insurance. Jeremy, a former Russia alum himself, or a Russia alum that is, I shouldn't say former, but now living over in Versailles, but still see him back here in the gymnasium from time to time and still has family here in the Russia community.
And the Raiders, speaking of, are up 19-11 on Houston in set number 1. Raiders on a 7-0 run. Mariah Boer will snap that streak, though. Get Houston to the 12th point.
Mariah's been getting some good attacks, just hasn't been getting many points. And unfortunately, we don't have our scoreboard working here tonight, Kobe, to keep track of our kills. I haven't been jotting any down, but be interested at the end of the game to see the final stats.
And Ashley Scott, a 4-year varsity player, smart enough to read that was going to go long.
Yeah, that's what you get when you played for as long as Ashley has and being a senior leader out here. You have that smart court sense. Not only is she very athletic, she's a very smart player, and comes in handy when you got a bunch of sophomores and some younger players out there.
Raiders dig out a nice Houston attack. Raiders free ball it over to the Wildcats. Wildcats free ball it right back over themselves. Jillian Chapman over to Maya Mon and over to Bailey Pullman. Pullman tonight at the net. They're going to call that 4 hits. So that actually hit off the tape, according to the up judge. (20-13) here, set number 1. The Raiders lead the Wildcats. Mariah Boer with a nice serve. It gets the Raiders a little bit out of position. Kendall Monin free balls it over. Megan Meyer over to Grace Slade. She bumps it over to Jill Chapman. Chapman over to Maya Monin. Set and dinked by Ashley Scott. The up judge sees that right in front of him. Point for the Raiders.
She's got a few points that way tonight, Kobe. Used to seeing her get up high above that net and those kills where she just hammers that ball, but just as effective with the dink tonight.
And Ashley Scott, the all-time Raider kill leader, and well on pace to potentially be the first Raider ever to achieve 1,000 kills in the program history. Kelby Dosek in the lineup now for the Raiders. Ball's hit over by the Wildcats. Dug out, Kendall Monin. Tipped by Maya Monin. It's just a little too far for her to reach. Tough play to make. Point Wildcats.
Yeah, Huffman getting involved in that volley there. I'd like to see her, if you're a Houston fan, getting more involved. She's athletic on that front row. Just not been that involved tonight so far.
Dosek denied at the net. Little tape shot by Scott. Wildcats just have to volley it over. Dug out by the libero Kendallmon over to her sister Maya, over to their cousin Ashley. And there's a point for the Raiders.
Well, Ashley Scott, once again, been saying it so far this whole first set, as the Raiders are 3 points away from getting this first set victory. But Ashley is coming up big on senior night here.
And big she is, and another ace for Ashley Scott. 23-14, our scoreboard reads here in Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium in set number 1. Raiders 2 points away from taking set number 1, coming off a 3-set loss to the Fort Laramie Redskins as Ashley does a jump serve, hits the floor right in front of Megan Meyer, and that was a beautiful ball there by Ashley Scott.
And Coach Watkins hoping for one more of those, Kobe.
24-14, set point. Onen fires the ball, and that's going to be put away by CC Borchers on the overpass. 25-14, Russia wins the first set. We'll take a quick break, come back with set number 2. You're listening to High School Girls Volleyball here on Fish Report's YouTube channel.
Attention volleyball fans, Cruisers Bar and Grill in Russia offers a great variety of fresh food from their menu. From their delicious lug nuts to their homemade pork tenderloins. Stop in before or after the volleyball game with family and friends. Large screen TVs inside and out give you a great reason to watch sports while enjoying your favorite beverage. Stop in and enjoy the fun and atmosphere of Cruisers Bar and Grill in Russia and tell them Fish Report sent you. Russia and Houston community, doesn't it seem hard to plan a party with all the social distancing concerns these days? Well, quit stressing and call Made in the Shade Tents and Tables in Russia. They specialize in rentals of outdoor tents, tables, and chairs. These work great for graduations, birthdays, weddings, reunions, festivals, or sporting events. For pricing options or to make your reservation, contact owner Adam York at 937 726 4992. That's 937 726 4992. Or email him at madeandshadetents@gmail.com. Made in the Shade Tents and Tables in Russia. And we'd like to take just a minute to recognize one of our sponsors, and that is the Jewelry Barn in Russia. Established in 2011, the Jewelry Barn is proud to give you the best quality and prices. They have a qualified staff to provide you with great custom jewelry and jewelry repair. They are certified by the Gemological Institute of America in diamond grading and colorstone grading, and also certified in jewelry repair. Stop in and check them out at the Jewelry Barn in Russia. So Kobe, Russia came out in this first set, and we thought maybe they came out not with that fire that we thought maybe they would, and a timeout by Coach Watkins, and after that they started to roll.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start for the Raiders. You saw Houston take a 9-7 lead, but after that it was all Raiders. It results in a 25-14 first set victory by the Raiders, and let's see how they react against set number 2. I think you need to see the Raiders playing hard from the get-go.
Well, the star of that first set had to be Ashley Scott for Russia, and some might think, oh, she's just she must be just a volleyball player, as good of a player as she is, but she's not. We'll see her on the basketball court, of course, this winter, like we have for the past 3 winters, and this year it sounds like she's going to be a part of the track and field team, which I'm not sure if that was her plan last year, but of course the spring season got canceled. But once a softball player, now it seems to be track and field is for this last senior hurrah. Going to give that a try. So, but anyway, very active, not just a volleyball player, a 3-sport athlete.
And hey, why not? You're in high school, do everything. And Jillian Chapman will get the call to start for the Raiders to serve the second set. And we're underway here on set number 2 here from the Claire C. Nouveau Gymnasium. Riley Voizard hits it. Dug out by Jillian Chapman, hits the speaker. And Houston takes a quick 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I think Jillian did probably a good job trying to return that, but it would have been close to going out, but just too hard hitting the basketball rim up above her.
Moeller back into service. Moeller, one of 2 seniors for Coach Vagidus' squad, and that ball finds the inline. Kendall Monin thought that would sail long, but it falls right in front of her eyeballs.
I've got Moeller as a senior, Kobe, and Boer and Huffman, so possibly 3 seniors, unless my roster. You have something different?
You did correct me there.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I made my notes, and I thought maybe I made them wrong.
Another good serve from Moeller gets the Raiders out of position. The ball set to the outside of the other senior, Haley Huffman, and Houston out to a quick 3-0 lead in set number 2.
Well, I said Huffman had to get involved in this Houston offense if they're going to be successful. Did a nice job there. I think that ball actually deflected off of Scott, and nothing Pullman could do when that came down. So nice job by Huffman.
It's been all Houston here. First couple points of the second set, Maya Monin sets outside to Ashley Scott, and when you need a point, she's the one to go to, Craig.
Yeah, there's the Ashley Scott. We're used to seeing those kills like that, the back corners, hitting those corners. We saw her dinking for some points in that first set. But always fun to watch those big kills like that.
Kate Sherman with a nice serve, picked up by the Wildcats. Mariah Boer, with the kill there, and a 4-1 Houston Wildcat lead.
One of those 3 seniors for Coach Vagidus.
Aforementioned Boer in service for the Wildcats.
Volleyball, so much a game of momentum, Kobe.
It is, and Mariah watches it fly. Maya Monin over to Carly Scott. Kemp over to Riley Voizard, who lets it fly, and there's another Houston point.
That was a picture-perfect kill by Riley Voizard, the junior.
And Houston not playing like a 2-10 team here early on in the second set. And now we'll watch number 11, Kayla Winner, come into the lineup. Winner, a 5'10 freshman. Her first entrance in the ball game. As Houston makes a little change to their lineup. As Slade exits the ball game. 5-1, Houston lead. The Raiders won the first set 25-14 for anyone just joining. Boer with another nice serve picked up by the Raiders. Dink. It's over, and Houston free balls it over. Chapman over to Maya Monin in the middle to Ashley Scott. And Scott flies it right past Megan Meyer for a Raider point. And Simone Putoff will come into the lineup for Bailey Pullman.
Another one of those sophomores last year saw Simone and maybe Jillian Chapman both. Jillian maybe not so much getting as much time as Simone did in varsity, but both of them very deserving to have those spots now.
Ball's tipped, dug out by Kendall Monin. Free ball back over to Houston. Recamp outside to Riley Voizard. Tape shot. Lingers over to Kendall Monin, over to Maya Monin. Back over to Carly Scott, but it hit the pole. Point for Houston.
Nice dig there by Kendall Monin. Was she not able to capitalize, though?
6-2. Wildcat lead. Riley Voizard back in service for Houston. She lets it go. Lauren Monier just entered the game, picks it out over to Ashley Scott, and Scott has all the Raider points on 3 kills.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing Lauren Monier back in there. We heard her honored before the game. Did mention that after high school, she's going to be attending Sinclair Community College to study radiology. Also a part of the cheerleading squad. We'll see her this winter cheering on the boys basketball team.
Ball's over, passed. Back over. Raiders pick it up. Low by the net. CC Borchers finds the middle, but it's dug out by Houston. Haley Huffman hits it over, and Ashley Scott watches it fly past the end line. And it's 6-4 Houston now. Raiders have cut the lead.
Ashley Scott was effective. We saw in that first set back in service. See what she can do here.
She really came on towards the end there. We'll go away a little bit from that jump serve. Houston will go in the middle to Grace Slade. It hits off the tape, and Kendall Monin will not be able to catch up to it.
Slade effective there. And as we said, a 6-footer. She's probably no more for her blocks, but the junior looked awfully good on that kill.
Libero Megan Meyer flies it over. Maya Monin over to CC Borchers tonight at the net. The Raiders reset. Ashley Scott will call it off and free ball it over. Moeller over to the outside and puts that ball away. No Raider in the vicinity of that ball by Katrin Moeller. 8-4, Wildcats lead here. Set number 2. Raiders up 1-0. The Raiders have not led at all this set, but they cut into that lead on a service error by Megan Meyer. Raiders trail by 3. Libero Kendall Monin with the jump serve, and that goes right into the net. They'll trade service errors for the Raiders and the Wildcats.
Yeah, return the favor for Rushi. Missed opportunity as Slade goes back now to serve, and I'm sure Coach Vagas would rather keep her in the front row.
Slade was effective serving the first set. It's mishandled by the Raiders. They'll have to get it over. Kemp sets in the middle to Boer, and it's off CC Borcher's block. And the Wildcats doubling up the Raiders 10-5 here.
Yeah, and you know, some of those girls can be just as effective behind that 10-foot line as well, Kobe.
Slade serves. Great serve, but it's picked up by the Raiders. Borchers in the middle. Dug out by Voizard. Kemp outside to Moeller again. Dug out by Scott. Monin tips it over. Moeller back in the middle to Boer. And she's denied at the net by Borchers. Dug out by the Raiders. Kendall Monin free balls it over. Wildcats reset their attack. Boer on the slide play. Goes through. And they're going to call
4 hits.
4 hits, yeah.
Well, call me crazy, Kobe, but when you have a wingspan like Slade's got at 6 foot, I think it's a little easier to be effective as a server. Just that ball starts a little higher.
Yeah,
and I guess that's why you jump serve sometimes to get that height.
Yeah, and that's what jump serving does. You know, you high point that ball. If you can get on top of it, you could let it sink a little bit, and it's harder to catch up to for people in the back row that typically get the serves.
Now, Slade's not jump serving, but she's got that arm so high in the air. It almost looks like she's touching the basketball rim, and just has a very nice serve. Like you said, she did a good job in the first set. If I'm coach, I like to see her on the front row, but doing a good job in service.
11-5, the Wildcats lead here in set number 2 from the Claire C. Deveau Gymnasium on senior night. Raiders won set number 1, 25-14 here for those people that are just joining our broadcast here.
And we talked about Ashley Scott earlier. We were talking about her being a 3-sport athlete. Covey also wanted to mention, since it is senior night, that she's also involved in the St. Remy leadership team. She's on the National Honor Society, and after high school, she plans to study sonography, which don't ask me what that is, but I'm guessing it's something medical.
That is when you look at babies when you're pregnant, and the people that show you the babies on the monitor.
I learned something new tonight.
And Kate Sherman gets the kill. Yes, that is what sonography is. I believe it's an associate degree program at most colleges and universities. And the Raiders now cut in the lead. They're trailing 11-6. A steep deficit for the Raiders to climb back from. Ball's tipped over. Raiders dig it out. Kate Sherman in the middle. Puts that ball right away in front of newly entered Emma Kemp.
I know Kate Sherman's awfully anxious to get involved in this Raider offense. Like I said, she can be very effective. And you hear names like Ashley Scott all the time, but Kate, a very good one coming up for Coach Watkins.
Maya Monin puts a little too much on that one. There's the service there for the Raiders. They trail 12-7. Ashley Scott digs out the serve. Maya Monin sets outside to Kate Sherman. And Kate Sherman, that set was a little high, but Kate Sherman has such a long arms that she can twist and bend to get that ball, Craig.
And I think Maya Monin knows that. But, yeah, Maya just a very good and very, as classmates, like you said, they play together so long. She knows what she can get away with. And Kate, good job.
And that's going to be a lift, a double hit on Brianna Kemp. Now the Raiders back within 12-9. That timeout paying dividends right now for Coach Aaron Watkins as CC Borchers lets the serve fly. Megan Meyer digs it out. They go outside to Moeller, and she meets a pair of Raider hands at the net, the combination of Ashley Scott and Kate Sherman. CC Borchers hits a little lob over, dug out by Emma Kemp over to Brianna Kemp. Boer hits it over. The Raiders reset their offense. Bailey Pullman in the middle, and now the Raiders are on fire here as of late. It's 12-11. Houston leads here set number 2.
Nice kill by Bailey Pullman and a nice assist once again by my line.
CC Borchers back into service. And that finds the tape and rolls on the Raiders side for a service error.
The service error has got to drive you nuts if you're a coach, Covey.
Yeah, and it's just like an error in baseball, you got to clean it up to the best of your ability. But, you talk about a team like New Bremen who serves with only an 89% rate, but they have a lot of aces, so it's a high-risk, high-reward game. It's over. Ball's overpassed by the Raiders and put away by Haley Huffman. She makes the Raider defense pay. And a Houston point. 14-11, the Wildcats lead set number 2 and matching their point total from set number 1 as Moeller jump serves. That's right into the net. Megan Meyer, the libero, back into the game for the aforementioned Moeller.
And as we mentioned, Megan Meyer, a lot of digs this season. I don't know how she has tonight, but single season record last year, and she's going to break that again this year.
Kate Sherman trades errors with Meyer. 15-12. Houston now leads. Rushi in set number 2. Raiders still leading 1-0. It's Mariah Bua fires. Jillian Chapman digs it out. Jump set over to Ashley Scott, and that's right in front of line judge Renee Stickle, and calls that in.
I was going to say, Rushi needed to be careful with Huffman and Slade in that front row, but Scott puts it in the back corner, far away from those two girls.
Simone Putoff back in for the Raiders. She hits a nice serve. Houston situates the offense. Huffman, cross-court shot, dug out by Chapman. Maya Monin in the middle to Ashley Scott. She just couldn't quite get under that one, Craig. That's a point for Houston.
Yeah, almost looked like her body was going one direction and her swinging right arm was going the other direction.
Kendall Monin picks it out. Tip by Maya Monin. Simone Putoff sets it in the middle to Ashley Scott. That goes right into the Houston crowd.
And a nice assist there from Simone Putoff.
And not really in that position too much as the Raiders run a 5-1 offense with one featured setter. Actually, Scott serves it over. Haley Huffman tries to put away. Dug out by Kendall Monin. Serve close to the net. Raiders resituate their offense. Will just have to get it over. Grace Slade bumps it. Kemp back to Slade. Let's see what she can do. And she's right in the net. Actually, that is Raiders in the net on CC Borchers. 17-14, Houston leading. Megan Meyer serves it. Picked up by the Raiders. They'll go outside to CC Borchers. And Borchers puts that ball away. Back picked up by the Wildcats. A crazy sequence of events there. Simone Putoff mishandles that ball. And I'm kind of there with Coach Aaron Watkins. I thought that was a double hit.
Well, I think Houston fortunate on that point. Riley Voizard almost gave that one up, and then she came back with a nice save, I guess you say. But we've got some. We're going to have a little meeting between the two officials, huh?
And that looked like a double hit there, Craig. I was surprised that was not called. Unless they're going to call it was off the block and they reset that ball. Because you can hit the ball if your hand's off a block and then bump it back up. 18.
So the down judge is the one that it's supposed to make that call?
Yeah, that's the down judge's call. They're going to re-award the point to the Raiders on the double hit, which I believe was the correct call. The score will now, instead of being 18-14, will be 17-15. The Wildcats did get lucky there for a moment, and I think the officials got it right. That should be the down judge's call, I believe, and now the down judge giving an explanation to Coach Lauren Vagadis. She ain't fighting it too hard. Vagadis just thrust in this role just about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
17-15, Russia Raider lead. Houston Wildcat lead. Wildcats just hit it over. Raiders run back into control. Kate Sherman just slaps it over. Mishandled by Houston, but they might be able to get it over, and they do. Maya Monin sets in the middle. CC Borchers dug out by Riley Voizard. Good Houston defense there. Raiders pick it back up, resituate. Maya Monin in the middle to Kate Sherman. She'll hit that long. Great Houston Wildcat defense there to fight for that point.
Yeah, Megan Meyer with that big save, hustling all the way past the back line into the corner to make that save. And Houston rewarded with that point. And we got a timeout, Kobe.
And with that, I think we can get a couple more sponsor reads in.
Attention Fish Report listeners, Geyers in Fort Laramie, Ohio is a family-owned and operated Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealership that has been in business since 1921. Not only do they sell new and pre-owned vehicles, but they also provide a full collision repair center, a service department, and paintless dent repair. They are not limited to working on just Chrysler products, but they will work with most makes and models. So if you need an engine tune-up on your Honda Accord or a front end replaced from an accident, they can handle the job. Visit Geyers in Fort Laramie. And folks, that's the truth. I've got a Honda CRV that's been there for the last 2 days, Kobe. Got a call from Mike over there in the service department tonight. He said, Craig, come pick her up.
It sounds like quality service there. And not so quality service there from Grace Slatus. That goes right into the net.
Slade done a pretty good job serving tonight, but a service there from her. She's going to head to the bench now for Coach Vagadis.
And Emma Kemp will enter the ball game. Take her spot.
Emma Kemp, I'm assuming the sister of Bree Kemp.
And the aforementioned Kemp on the overpass. Kate Sherman hits that ball down. And when you see a ball in an overpass like that, Craig, I think it gets most girls in the front row excited.
Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about Slade being so tall. Kate Sherman, when she gets that arm of hers over the net, just as effective.
Raiders trail by one. They have not led at any point in this second set, looking to try to tie it up now. CC Borchers does tie it up. We're knotted up at 18. 18 all here in set number 2. Raiders won the first set 25-14. Maya Monin Back in service. Nice knuckleball serve. Picked up. Moeller. Just going to hit it over. Raiders reset the offense. They fake it to Borchers. Hit over to Sherman. Dug out by Meyer. Teacher Moeller hits it over. Raiders set it up. Kendall Monin outside to Kate Sherman. Dug out by Meyer. Kemp in the middle to Boer. Dug out by Monin. It's a long rally here. Who wants the point? And Moeller. It's off a Raider block. The Raiders reset. Kate Sherman puts it away. The Raiders have their first lead of set number 2.
I got the fans fired up there. Kate Sherman, big kill. The crowd, Rushy, both sides of the gym here getting wound up, their first lead of this second set.
19-18. Coach Watkins in his 5th year leading the Raiders. He is 9-0 against the Houston Wildcats. And Maya Manin gets an ace. Coach Bagatis wants a timeout here. We'll take one with them.
Oh, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank one of our longtime sponsors tonight, and that's Nathan Marshall at Ameriprise Financial. Nathan's company, Ameriprise Financial, was rated #1 in the investment industry for trust. Nathan can help you with your financial goals and personalized advice tailored to you. Nathan is a big Rushy Raider fan, big supporter of Rushy Raider sports, and he's probably here at tonight's game watching his niece Kelby, who was playing a little earlier in the junior varsity game. So don't call him now, but give him a ring in the morning at 937-853-2600. That's 937-853-2600. And speaking of another Rushy Raider fan, how about one of our judges down here in the Al Putoff? He seems to do every game, Kobe.
I think he's done it for quite a long time. Been a line judge for many years for his couple daughters.
Well, they can't see him on our monitor because we can't quite show the entire floor, but Al is down there on the Rushy side in the corner, and he's probably happy you can't see him down there. He can't critique any of his calls here tonight, but he's certainly down there, and he's, like I said, he seems to be there almost every game.
Raiders back in the service. Let's see if the Wildcats can respond. The Raiders finally taking the lead here in the second set. Kendall Monin, pass in the middle to Borchers. CC Borchers puts away. Raiders up 21-18, are 4 points away from winning this second set.
Yeah, credit Rushy to hanging in here for the second set. You know, they were down most of it and coming back, getting hot when it counts the most at the end.
Knuckleball serve. Moeller hits it through a pair of Raider blockers, and Houston stops the bleeding here.
And credit to Houston for not laying down here. They're sticking with it. As I said, that you get to that 20-point mark, some people act like sometimes the match is all but over, but that's definitely not the case.
Sherman gets her ball dug out. Back over to Houston. Scott in the middle to Monin. To CC Borchers, they call her number again. They're going to call
in the net.
Yep, CC Borchers in the net. Down judge put up number 3, signaling the player.
Well, it's still shaking a little bit, so hard to deny that one.
Raiders dig it out. The third hit to Sherman, and Kate Sherman has answered the bell this second set for the Raiders.
Yeah, been having a very nice set. Maimana once again involved in that, and that's not uncommon at all.
And it's 22-20. The Raiders lead in this race to 25 here in set number 2. The Raiders won the first set 25-14. Kemp in the middle to Boer. The Raiders have been trailing pretty much about the majority of this second set until recently. Kemp over to Moeller. Moeller finds a pair of Raider hands, and Kate Sherman and Bailey Pullman put that ball away. And Coach Bagatis wants a timeout as the Wildcats' backs are against the wall, Craig.
Well, I want to say, this Houston Wildcat team, we talked about them being 2-10 coming into here, 0-6 in the SCAL, but this isn't a bad team. They're playing, state-ranked teams we talked about here tonight, and Fort Laramie twice, and Rushy twice. They're going to play them twice here, back-to-back games actually for them tonight and on Monday. And then Knoxville, the list goes on, and they're not bad. Megan Meyer, very impressed with her. They got some good height up there. But they're just have a tough schedule, and they do have those couple wins out, non-league wins. But I'm sure that's probably only go so far with the coach. You eventually got to get wins.
And a tall task here for Lauren Baggett's team tonight, coming here and playing the Raiders. They have fared pretty well in the second set and pretty much been leading most of it until recently, like we said. The Raiders lead 23-20. Borchers on the serve, dug out by Voizard. They set it back over to Moeller. Be a free ball for the Raiders. They bump, set, spike into the middle. Sherman, and that ball is overpassed and out of bounds by Grace Slade. Credit the kill to Kate Sherman, and she has answered the bell this second set, Craig.
Well, Maya Mana and Kate Sherman smiling at each other right now. Those two have got it going on, and Maya with another great set. Kate with that big kill, and as you said, playing together all these years, you can tell those two got some great chemistry.
And set point will have to wait here a bit for the Raiders. It's 24-21 as Houston needs to get rattle off three more points in a row here. Jillian Chapman enters the lineup for the Raiders. Muller back in the service. Raiders looking to improve 6-3 with a win here tonight. The Raiders have suffered two straight losses. Bailey Pullman hits that ball long. Houston fights to see another point.
Yeah, Pullman just not in the best position for that attack, and just went a little long.
24-22. Big point right here for the Wildcats, and they serve it long. And Rushi takes the second set, 25-22. We'll take a short break here. Come back with set number 3. You're listening to High School Girls Volleyball here on Fish Report's YouTube channel.
Attention Rushi Raider fans, shop local and save at Busher's Market in Rushi. Busher's Market has great prices on fruits, vegetables, frozen items, seafood, and more. Make sure you check out their meat department with deli item specials. Busher's also has fresh store-made soups that make a great quick meal. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Busher's Market in Rushi, shop local and save. Senior citizens need help making an easy transition into Medicare and retirement planning? Then contact Jeremy Cadonier at Jeremy Cadonier Insurance in Versailles. Jeremy helps seniors with the step-by-step process with products like Medicare supplements, Part D drug plans, life insurance, and investments in the Versailles area. Call Jeremy at 526-9860. That's 526-9860. And Fish Report listeners, are you looking for the right financial advisor? Then contact Mike Stevie at the Edward Jones Company, whose motto is making sense of investing. Check out the company's website at the Edward Jones at www.edwardjones.com, or call Mike at his office in Troy, 937-440-9392. That's 937-440-9392 to see how he can help you make sense of investing. I know Mr. Stevie just changed offices here not too long ago, and you'll have to check out his new digs and tell him Fish Report sent you. So again, it's senior night here, Kobe, and got a chance to recognize some seniors, 3 senior volleyball players in Lauren Monier, Kendall Monin, and Ashley Scott. And don't want to forget about 4 seniors in the cross-country program, 3 boys and Jonathan Bell, Nick Caldwell, Jake Gubo, 1 girl and Becca Sager, and finally 1 senior golfer, and that is Drew Sherman.
We get set number 3 here, and I like being in the gym, Craig, but I'm ready to get out on the gridiron tomorrow night as Ashley Scott hits the ball over, and miscommunication and a collision there on the Houston front line, point Raiders. But tomorrow night I'll be heading over to Memorial Stadium in Minster and watch the Minster Wildcats and Marion local Flyers do battle on the gridiron tomorrow night.
Battle of 119 there.
Yes, a battle of State Route 119 and also Versailles and Fort Recovery. So some good games in MAC action tomorrow. As the Raiders get a free ball, we'll go over to Bailey Pullman. Pullman puts it away. The Raiders up 2-0 in a blink of an eye.
And Kobe, a little bit different procedure this year for those playoff spots. Nothing to do with polls this or the ratings this year, rankings. It's all voted on, isn't it?
Yep, and it will be voted on here soon. This is week 5, so and there's an overpass put away almost, but dug out by Megan Meyer. Right place, right time. Ball goes to the outside to Carly Scott, who've not mentioned a lot tonight. Maya Monin sets it over. Ending's picked up. Mariah Boer picks it up, and that's going to be a lift there on Bailey Pullman. She tried to set it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Carly Scott been kind of quiet here tonight, but make no mistake about it, she's been a one of the Watkins players this year that's been very effective in certain games. Just not so much tonight.
And that ball was, Bailey Pullman just bumped it over with a little bit of luck. And Houston player, I believe Haley Huffman, tripped up there. So fortunate for the Raiders, that will result in another point. 3-1, the Raiders lead here. Set number 3. The Raiders won the first 2 sets, 25-14, 25-22. Jillian Chapman digs it out. Kendall Monin over to Carly Scott. Just with a little light tap, and that's mishandled. And it went up into the vents there and came back down. Hard for Houston to find.
Yeah, no sooner than I say it, and Carly Scott comes back with a nice point there for Arushi. And keep in mind, she's just a freshman. Kind of reminds me of some of these sophomores we saw last year, just getting acquainted with. She's only halfway through the season here right now, but she's going to be a good one.
Ball's dug out by the Raiders. Over to Carly Scott and just hits it wide. She read the defense there, tried to sneak it in the inline, but went just a little far out. Riley Boisard, 5'4", junior, back in the service. She hits a long ball that goes right by Kendall Monin. As we mentioned before, only the second Raider player to achieve 1,000 digs, which she achieved in the first set over there against Fort Laramie on Tuesday night. Ashley Scott fires, tape shot, finds its way over. Point Raiders.
And nice to see Kendall honored tonight. She got the game ball, went over and gave her mom a little of a hug as she handed her the game ball, and was reading the a program, and she mentioned one of her favorite memories of her career was watching her sister get her recognition for her 1,000th assist in that game against Versailles. So very talented family there. We remember their sister Lexi played a number of years ago. She was a good athlete as well. And I know these girls work awful hard at it. They play the JO circuit, and they have for a lot of years, spend their summers traveling around doing all this, like most of these girls out here do, and that's a credit to their one reason for their success.
Yeah, and the JO circuit really been big for the expansion of the popularity of volleyball that you see in the MAC or the Shelby County League in the surrounding area. So a lot of girls play JO anymore.
Yeah, some of these facilities, they've got dozens of games going on. It's just crazy.
Rushi's been hosting some JO tournaments as well. Curly Scott to the outside, off a couple blockers. That's a kill for the freshman. She's come on this third set.
Yeah, it's starting to heat up a little bit. Again, Maimon, a nice set there. Gave her the perfect opportunity for that point.
7-2 Raider lead. Megan Meyer will hit it over. Maya Monin, a long set there by Cece Borchers, and Maya Monin got her out of position there, and that will result in a Houston point.
Our listeners might be able to hear or probably are able to hear the Rushi student section. Nice to hear a lot of students here tonight. It's been limited tickets, and somehow they got them in tonight.
And Carly Scott tonight right back at the net. Grace Slade gets a couple balls on it. 7-4 Raider lead.
Well, Houston down here 2-0. They don't want to lose any kind of emotion that they got. Like I said, they've been playing pretty well so far. Just 25-14 in that first set, 25-22 in the second set. Certainly scoring points, just not being able to get any wins. And again, yeah, you want to keep things going and not get down after being down 2-0. You can certainly come back. That's for sure. We've seen it many times.
Moeller cross tape shot picked up Kendall Monin. Maya Monin outside. Kate Sherman puts it past Mariah Boer. 9-4 Raider lead.
There's that Monin Sherman combo again. Perfect set. Perfect kill.
Raiders inching closer to try to get a 3-set sweep victory. Got to keep their foot on the gas if they want that. Monin lets it fly. And that ball hit off Mariah Boer's face. And that'll be 4 hits. A tough break there for the senior.
Yeah, Boer came off the face there a little bit. She's smiling now. Riley Boiser gives her a 5.
Houston Gets it over to Grace Slade, and Slade gets a little taste of her own medicine, so to speak. Cece Borchers with the termination block.
Yeah. Good job by CC against Slade. That's seems like maybe a mismatch, but CC can certainly get up.
11-4 Raider lead. Kendall Monin in the back row. It's a little bit of a dink picked up by the Raiders. Will go outside Kate Sherman. It's dug out by Voizard. Brewer from the 10-foot line right into the net. 12-4 Raiders. This has been pretty much their most dominating set so far, leading 12-4.
Yeah, seeing a lot of smiles out there from the Russia girls right now. Still intense, but they seem to be having fun as well.
Kendall Monin, Riley Voizard. That's an overpass put down by the combination of C.C. Borchers and Kate Sherman.
And I don't see that same fire from these Wildcats that I saw in these first two sets. And perhaps if I'm Coach Vagatus, I might be calling a timeout here. And if it continues.
You see that fire in the Raiders' eyes now that they've needed to have. And Grace Slade answers the bell with a big kill there.
Well, that's hard to stop there. She got a nice assist or a nice set and hammered that one home. Now she goes back to serve where we saw her effective earlier tonight.
Slade hits a bullet. Miscommunication between Simone Putoff and Ashley Scott. Grace Slade, a very nice player. Slade, a 6-foot junior. So she will be back next year. Ball's picked up by the Raiders. A nice dink by Monin, but dug out by Meyer. Moeller dinks it over herself. And a nice read by Moeller. 13-7 Raider lead.
Simone Putoff laid out trying to get that one, but just they're too late.
Tape shot that's picked up by Simone Putoff. They'll bump it outside to Kate Sherman. Dug out by Slade. In the middle from Kemp to Moeller. Ball's dug out by the Raiders. Borchers will just get it over. Cross tape shot. Houston situates the offense. Mariah Boer. Ball tips off the Raiders' hands. They're going to call Kate Sherman in the net. Houston on a 4-0 run now to cut in to make it lead 13-8. And that ball finds the inline. Line judge out, Putoff. Ball's right in front of him.
There was no hesitation on that one, Kobe. He had that red flag down. He said it was in.
Slade on a roll. Until then, she puts it right in the net. But caps off a nice 5-0 Houston run. (14-9), the Raiders lead. They've won 24-14, 25-22. These first two sets. Ball goes in the middle to Boer. She pumps it over to Kate Sherman. Sherman fires it right in the net. And Houston back within 4.
Now Rishi going cold here a little bit.
The Raiders, who look like they had this third set all in control, it's kind of turned the opposite way.
Now we talked about momentum. Houston's got it right now.
Houston gets the ball off the block, so go outside to Moeller. And Moeller finds the inline. Houston back within 3. (14-11).
Well, I think I said Coach Vagatus should call a timeout and get her troops together. Probably a good thing she didn't do that.
And they're playing well now on a nice 7-1 run. CC Borchers to the outside, and that's will be a kill.
Well, there's that back set from Mon, and I love watching it. It's a thing of beauty when you can get the kill.
And it's a 15-11 Raider lead now. It has been shrunk very quickly by Houston. Chapman fires from the back row. Meyer. Moeller into the blocks. And I believe that was primarily Ashley Scott that got a piece of that. Point Raiders. And that's a rowdy Raiders student section down there, Craig.
I know our viewers can't see it. They got all those cardboard cutouts of the heads, and they're really having fun with them tonight.
It goes in the middle. Boer tips it over. Dug out by Maya Monin over to Kendall Monin. Ashley Scott hits a cross-tape shot. It's picked up by the Wildcats. They'll go over to Katrin Moeller. Moeller hits it too far. And you talked about the cardboard cutouts. It's kind of like the cardboard cutouts that you're seeing at the Reds games.
Well, we've got actual fans here. They're not pretend fans.
And Coach Vagas calls timeout. We'll take a brief one with them. You're listening to High School Girls Volleyball here on Fish Report's YouTube channel.
And just to let fans of Arooshie and Houston know what's going on this weekend, if you're a Arooshie fan, they will have tomorrow off, no activities or sports activities on Friday, but on Saturday, the girls golf team will be taking on Fort Laramie out at Arrowhead. And in cross-country action, it's the Tour de Sur over in Versailles. So both the high school and the junior high will be running there. That gets underway at 9 a.m. over in Versailles, so a short drive if you're from Arooshie. And then in volleyball action, as Kobe mentioned, he'll be calling that game. Arooshie travels to Lehman. Junior high will take on Newton here at home, and the freshmen will take on Versailles at 1 o'clock. For Houston fans, they will be golfing on Friday night as the Wildcats take on the Botkins Trojans over at Shelby Oaks. And then on Saturday, they will also be running the Tour de Sur in Versailles in cross-country action. So lots going on this weekend for fans of both schools.
Jillian Chapman with the serve. Riley Boisard with the kill. Houston back within 5.
Boisard, a name that's familiar to a lot of Arooshie folks. She also has relation over here in the village.
Muller with a nice serve. Ashley Scott is over, picked up by the Raiders. They'll resituate. And mishandle there by Bree Kemp. Point Raiders, they're within 7 points of sweeping this match. 18-12, the Raiders lead. Carly Scott now into the lineup for Coach Watkins' squad. Kate Sherman with a nice serve. Goes the outside to Boer. And Kate Sherman held off of that one, and Al Putoff waves his flag above his head to signal out of bounds.
She's smiling. I don't know if she held up on her or couldn't get to it, one of the two, but I'm glad she didn't hit it. Or if you're a Arooshie fan, you're glad she didn't hit it.
Ball's hit to the outside. Boisard rejected off the net. Out of bounds. Point to the Wildcats.
Yeah, Boisard just a junior. She's going to be a talent for Coach Vagas next season as well, if not the rest of this season, but very athletic.
Boer with a nice serve. Raiders tip it back in. They won't be able to get it over. Actually, you're going to say the Wildcats hit that. Carly Scott hits over. I thought that might have been 4 hits on the Raiders.
I wondered the same thing, Kobe. I'll have to watch the replay on that one tonight. And you know, we were talking a little earlier about Kendall Mon, and she seems to get involved. Just those digs, they go unappreciated by some, but she's just always in the action and keeps a lot of volleys alive.
Ball's lobbed over by Slade to go outside to Carly Scott. Hit off the tape. Point Houston. Lauren Monier checks into the lineup along with Kelby Dosek. Dosek, another sophomore that plays primarily JV for the Raiders.
Well, she's the heart of that JV team, that's for sure. Saw a few JV matches this year.
Maya Monin set outside to Kelby Dosek. Dosek with a kill.
That's the way you come in.
And Kelby Dosek with a big kill there for the Raiders. 21-14, 4 points away from sweeping this match.
Oh, Kelby's also part of that very talented sophomore class. So
Ashley Scott lets it fly on her senior night. Ball goes over to Haley Huffman. Monier back over to Scott, over to Monin. All 3 seniors touch the ball in that sequence. Grace Slade in the middle. And Kendall Monin watches that ball fly wide. 22-14 Raider lead. Let's see if Ashley Scott does a big old jump serve. Throws that ball high up in the air as she does. A great serve, but a nice dig by Megan Meyer. Lauren Monier handles the ball, goes outside to CC Borchers, and Borchers puts that ball in. A good call there by line judge Renee Stickle.
I was going to say, Scott's jump serve there has a lot of nice top spin on it. Myers with a nice job getting that, but CC Borchers, a lot of top spin on that kill.
Scott rolls it, but hits it right into the net. 23-15 as the Raiders are 2 points away from taking a 3-set sweep.
And you know what I like, Kobe? We got 3 seniors in there for Arooshie now on senior night. All 3 seniors.
3 seniors and 3 sophomores. And that ball is nicely dug out by Kendall Mon in the middle to Kelby Dosek. Ball's dug out by Houston. They'll go out there to Moeller. Moeller Ball's dug out by Ashley Scott, but falls right in front of the Raider fans. They're on the south side of the gymnasium, or west side of the gymnasium, excuse me. Scott over to Monin. Before they kill Borchers, and she does, and it's match point here on senior night.
Monin with that cross-court set all the way to Borchers. Looking good.
24-16 match point here for Russia. Can they put it away and sweep it on senior night? Kendall Monin, the senior, fittingly serves it. Moeller. This ball dug out by senior Monier. Ball's tipped over. Monier digs it out, and Houston lives to see another day. Looks like this Raider fans are ready to explode here. They haven't been able to watch any games all year.
Well, if they went and watched them on Tuesday, I imagine they are ready to explode.
Slade hits it over. Look out. Maya Monin. Back over to Houston. Scott over to Monin. It's back over the middle of Kate Sherman. Ball's battled at the net. Mishandled, and the Raiders take this game in a 3-game sweep over the Houston Wildcats. Snapped their 2-game losing streak and advanced their record to 6-3 with a 25-14, 25-22, 25-17 win over the Houston Wildcats. The Houston Wildcats dropped to 2-11 on the season and 0-7 in the Shelby County Athletic League, and the Raiders stay on pace with the Fort Laramie Redskins for place number 1 in the Shelby County Athletic League.
Well, thanks for helping me out here, partner. I thought I was going to have to do this one by myself. You were supposed to have a soccer game tonight. Those plans got changed a little bit. So, again, appreciate you coming up here in the booth with me.
Always love being up here in the Clare. It's one of my favorite places to do a game from, Craig.
Well, the athletic director, Amber Cardonier, asked us if we would cover these games for the rest of the season. So I'm going to get you whenever I can. But we've also got TK, who's got a lot going on right now with a wedding and all kinds of stuff. But we're going to get him up here. We're planning on covering the rest of these Russia home games. I know you'll be involved or busy with NK Telco as well. But, again, enjoyed having you up here tonight. And I'm excited about the rest of this volleyball season. I
am too. The Raiders come out, and this Houston team gave them a challenge for a 2-win team. Credit Houston Wildcats and Lauren Vagatis' team. I give that team a ton of credit for a 2-10 record. They did not play like a 2-10 team tonight. They played a really well-rounded game. They've got some nice players that could win a couple tournament games and maybe pull off an upset. We looked at a team like Fairlawn last year that made an upset run to regional finals. Maybe I'm not necessarily saying that about the Wildcats, but definitely a team that could maybe pull off an upset that might be a little bit of an eyebrow raiser to some people. And you saw it here tonight. They pushed the Raiders every single set. They led at some point of every set. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, playing that state-ranked schedule that they have, and that includes Russia again next Monday. That's their next game where Russia gets a little break. They're playing Lehman. Maybe not a break, but a game in between. Houston has to come right back. They'll host Russia on Monday. So, another, again, say a state-ranked team again that they get. So, that you hope that pays dividends as the season goes on. That's for sure. All right, well, for final time, Russia defeats Houston 3-0. We hope you enjoyed Fish Report's broadcast of high school volleyball. Thanks for tuning in. And from Russia Local School at the Clare Vote Gymnasium on senior night, I'm Craig Fissinger for Brandon Coverman saying good night, everyone.